Good morning and welcome to Sports Fest live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook, along with my producer, Aldi Iwani. Our special guest today is Santa Fe High boys head coach, Zach Cole. Coach, thanks so much for being our guest.
Oh, no, thank you for having us, Ed. We really appreciate it.
Coach, 78-46 win over Rio Grande last night. Demons are now 5-1, the lone loss to Cleveland, who's got an excellent team. You dropped a decision to Cleveland earlier this year. Tell us a little bit about the game last night. We're going to ask you about it. I had you against Albuquerque High in Greg Brown's first game a couple of weeks ago. You got a rematch with the Bulldogs here coming up. Tell us about last night's game.
Last night it was nice to be back at home. We always enjoyed playing in our home gym. Playing it against a tough Rio Grande team. Rio Grande teams are always tough. They're always aggressive. We shot the ball well last night. We made 12 threes. We felt like we hadn't been shooting the ball the way we can coming into the game. So it was nice to get back on track. We made 12 threes. Everybody played. Everybody got a lot of minutes. So it was a good game for the program, for the team in that sense, where everybody got to get in, everybody got to touch the ball. So it's always a good day when everybody gets to do that.
Coach, it's an unusual season, right? It's an unusual season.
Yeah.
Games piled on. You don't have time to really wait for district. Usually you play 10 games and you get tournament, right? Capital City tournament. Then you get ready for district in January, February. This season, it's jumping right into it. It's a little bit different. I want to talk about your guards, Cruz Martinez, Cody Garcia, PJ Lovato. You told me added 15 pounds over the summer. Caden Block. These are veterans, Coach. Talk a little bit, because I think Cruz Martinez and Cody Garcia play off each other as well as any two-guard tandem in the state. Talk a little bit about them and PJ Lovato and Caden Block. You got a veteran squad here, Coach, that's been in some wars.
Yeah, no, definitely. We rely on them. We rely on our veterans, and it's nice that we've been able to have them when they were younger to learn and get that in-game experience. Their sophomores and junior years, and now we're able to just control games the way we like. We rely on them a lot. Jaden Block is a senior that didn't have a lot of experience last year in terms of game time, but now that the season's progressing, he's starting to come into his own. He played really well against Capital the other night. He was Sports Journal Player of the Game, and rightfully so, well deserved. And then PJ is just ready to take off. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He's had a sprained ankle for the last 2 games. We didn't suit him up last night against Rio Grande. So we're just trying to get him healthy because we know how valuable and how important PJ Lovato is to us. He's a double guy, 10 rebounds, 10 points, and that's hard to find. So we're just trying to get him healed up. And Cruz and Cody, I just can't say enough for what they do for our program. They allow everybody around them to settle down because they deal with all the pressure that teams like to try to put on us. They hit big shots for us. When something's not there within the flow of the offense, they know how to create, when to create. And they're playing real unselfish right now. They're getting other teammates involved, and that's a positive for us.
Coach, 2016, you were named the head coach of Santa Fe. It's your 5th season now, and 4 times you've been in the state tournament. Is that true? Is it all 5 years you've been in the state tournament?
Yes, sir. 4 years. This is our 5th year, so we're hoping to get back there again. But last 4 years, we made the state tournament each year. Played against some tough teams. Our first year, we had to play a district opponent in El Dorado, and El Dorado, they're always a great team. Coach Sanchez is one of my favorite. He's always treated us with respect and kind of set the bar when we first got here on where we need to be. So it was that was kind of like our measuring stick. Teams like El Dorado, we lost to them the first round of state our first year. Second year, we had to go to Atrisco, and everybody remembers that Atrisco team. That was the year they made their run and they won their
very
first.
Very good team. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good team. And we lost to them by 3 at their own place. They were a 3 seed. We were a 14 seed. And we lost by 3, and we got a look. We got an open look that one of our players I think he was so shocked that he was so open. He kind of just flipped it up instead of squaring up and taking a good shot. But I said after that game, I told our guys, this is an extremely well-coached, talented team. Don't be shocked if they go win it all. And sure enough, they did. They went and won it all that year. And then our third year here, we had that group with Antonio Lovato, that senior group. What a great senior group that was. We had a young JB White, young Cruz Martinez, young Cody Garcia, freshman PJ Lovato was a part of that team. And, we dealt with an injury with JB there midseason, and he wasn't able to play the rest of the way, which I really think changed the fate. But our guys stuck together. We had great leadership. We made a deep run. We knocked off the #1 seed, Volcano Vista, while doing that. And again, we lost to Trisco in the state championship game, again by 3. So, I don't know what it was with the Trisco, but we dropped both years. We got knocked out of the tournament by them by 3. So
that state final, Coach, against the Trisco Heritage was one of the best games I ever saw. It really was. And Carlos DeSaro was another player you had, and that guy, man, another fulcrum of your team. Very smart player. I enjoyed the way the team gels as a team, and that's a tribute to your coaching. Things don't happen by accident, Coach, and you've got a real humble demeanor about you, and I understand that, and I appreciate that. But things don't happen without your guidance and tutelage, believe me. We'll talk to one of your former coaches at Espanola Valley, Mark Centini. And Mark Centini, who I know very well. Mark and I played a lot of ball with each other back in the day. Mark said you were a student of the game, always willing to share ideas. The best three-point shooter he's ever seen. You played at Espanola Valley from 94 to 98 under Lenny Roybal. And Coach Roybal is a legend, right? Coach Roybal is a legend at Espanola Valley and at Santa Fe, the state champions in 78. So Coach Centini says that. You're always looking to get better. Coach Centini talked about the clinics that you went to with Kelvin Sampson and the things that these coaches shared with you. So you're always trying to expand the mind. And Coach Centini couldn't have been more complimentary of you. And I really, Mark and I talked for a while because we hadn't talked in a bit. And you get basketball guys together and they won't shut up, right? So, but you coached under Coach Roybal. You also coached under Ryan Cordova at Northern New Mexico, under Mark Centini. Ben Gomez is your neighbor. Coach Gomez, an excellent coach, a former College of Santa Fe, a Northern legend, right? There's no question about it. So what did you learn under all of these? Coach Roybal, Coach Centini, Coach Gomez, who you're still learning from, your neighbors, right? Capital, before Capital was built, Santa Fe was the king up there, right? They were. Yes. And now you and Coach Gomez still see each other. So talk about what you learned under those gentlemen there.
Just with each one of them, Coach Roybal, in my opinion, he kept the game so simple. It was such a simple game, and it allowed me as a younger player to play up on varsity as a freshman because everything was so simple. Now, nowadays you see kids trying to complicate the game more than they need to, trying to just do too much is what I mean. So just the simplicity in which Coach Roybal taught the game and played the game, I thought he was great at. Coach Centeni was the student of the game. I could tell you that, the notes and stuff that he'd take when we were at our coaches' clinics together and things like that. It stood out to me, and I paid attention. And I just wanted to learn the game the way he was learning the game. And Coach Gomez, the legend, like you said, the Northern legend, just discipline. The game is up, discipline in the little things. Defensively, learned everything from Coach Gomez. That's, we pride ourselves on our defense with our teams now, and we've learned all of that from Coach Gomez, from the way he did shell drill, the toughness that he demands, the no excuse mentality that he always has had, and to play tough, to be the toughest team on the court. Learned that from Coach Gomez. And Coach Cordova is really great at interacting with his kids. He just knows how to get through to every type of kid, because we know every kid's different. Every kid has different ways of learning, not just in the classroom, but on the court and on the field and things like that. And Coach Cordova was amazing at being able to break through in how he communicates with each guy. And with that, he would instill confidence into his players. I've just been very fortunate to play or to coach with such good coaches. And every one of them has passed something on to me. I still have good relationships with them today. Coach Gomez is still teaching me things on the court and off the court, just about life, how to be a good family man. He's the grill master, so he's always, always throwing me secrets on how to smoke some food and things like that. But, basketball is my life, so to speak. I couldn't see myself doing any other thing. When it was time to decide what pathway I wanted to go down in college, I couldn't think of anything else besides teaching and coaching. I felt like I get along great with kids, and my passion for basketball is never going to change. It's been there since I was a child growing up in Espanola. You know how it is growing up in the Valley, not much to do, need to find ways to stay out of trouble, and basketball was that for me. So just trying to give back really what's been given to me, and trying to follow that.
Coach, you set a great example. You honestly do. Let me ask you this. What did it mean? We got about a minute or so before we hit break here. What did it mean for you to bring Santa Fe back? I remember in '78, they played Albuquerque High for the championship, and Coach Dave Romo and I still argue from Albuquerque High because I said Santa Fe had more fans that night. I'll still say that. I remember when the teams came down from the ramp, and then you had Santa Fe back in the championship in 2019. Bobby Rodriguez coached there. David Rodriguez, Lenny Roybal, some legends, right? Some legends. Now, Coach, you're a humble guy. Your name's going to be there too. You still got some work to do, and you're not by any means done. You got a long way to go. What did it mean for you to bring Demon basketball back to what it is right now, or going to be? Still not. You still want it. We're still going to grow.
Yeah, I really didn't understand it until I got hired. I grew up playing against Santa Fe High, and I knew of the good players and the good coaches and all that, and the state championship they won with Coach Roybal. But the amount of support and people reaching out when I first got hired, I didn't really truly understand how much pride the program brings to the community, not just to the school, but to the community. And since we've been here, just the outpouring support with sponsorships and not just moral support as well. When we made our run to the state championship game, I mean, that pit was 2/3 Santa Fe.
It was. It was, yes.
I probably have to agree with you about the '78 game, but no, it was 2/3 Santa Fe, and the rest was for Atrisco. So, just that sort of support has been amazing. And the only word I could really think of is pride, just the sense of pride that it brings to the community as a whole, not just our school site.
Love the backdrop, Coach. Demon basketball. You got to have that. We'll take a break and be back with Santa Fe boys head coach Zach Cole after these messages on the sports desk.
Morgan's there, one-on-one with the keeper, and that opens the scoring. Rachel Morgan, the senior, finds the back of the net, and it's 1-0 St. Mike's.
Oliveris for three, yes.
Well, I like that young man.
Transition opportunity for the Bulldogs. Deep three's up, and it's good by number 11, Annika Reed.
Rowe gets it, boots it forward. Myers is there. She's able to head it, and she can throw it. Nunez there. She's at the center. She gets across, shoots, and scores! Hello! What can you say there? Hello! And that is Alexa Duggan, who goes across the body.
There. Gonzalez going to get all the way to the basket here. Off the window with the extra kiss, and it's good for Gonzalez.
How about played to the top of the 18, Morgan. Nice turn, Morgan, left-footed shot, Morgan! 3-0, and that is a brace for Rachel Morgan, the senior from St. Michael's. Frazier tries the slam and does it. So in two.
Here comes the pressure. Hasbury takes it away and sends it in.
Well, there's a top 10 play right there, I can tell you that.
The last-ditch effort for the Wildcats. They are cornered right now. That ball, goal! It's the long goal from Contreras! Holy cow! Luke Contreras absolutely launched that ball. Contreras. And Kumar takes the shot, and that is it. We didn't make it an entire minute into this overtime before Oliver Kumar delivered the winning score. Look at those boys celebrate down there, dogpiling on top of number 6.
Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. Our special guest today, Santa Fe boys head coach Zach Cole. And Coach, what an honor and pleasure to have you here. And you've again had the greatest success at Santa Fe. You're young, you're still building. The program was at a height many times. And I remember Demon basketball, man. I remember it very well. And so I got to ask you, Coach, you've had success. Santa Fe Indian, you had success. You went out to California, San Diego for a couple of years. Had success there. You know, you've everywhere you've been, there's been a model of success, and you're building one here at Santa Fe again. 2019 state championship appearance. You're 5-1 this year. But what if you got a team? You told me this when you played Albuquerque High. You like to pressure the basketball. What was your philosophy built on? Was it other coaches, Coach Roy Ball, or gamuts of all these coaches together? What was your philosophy built on?
You know, I just defensively is really when I started coaching with Coach Gomez. Just the I had played for a lot of coaches I had been with, at that point, because he was the first coach that I ever helped coach out of college, coach with. But the detail, the amount of detail to defense, I've been around where defense was just a lot of energy, which it is effort, energy, things like that. But the detail, the timing, the five guys moving as one, the angles to cut somebody off at, or to keep the ball on one side of the floor, just the detail that came with defense. I was like, wow, there's a lot of detail with it, and I played for some good college coaches. Coach Durham was my first coach in Durango, and then he left after that first year. I played for Coach Hoffman, where Coach Durham was more of the defensive guy. We definitely implement some of the stuff that he taught me, trying to keep the ball on one side of the court and things like that, where we're helping from, things like that. So I would say, Coach Gomez, I just love the way we were flying around and the energy that it brought to the game and to the bench, and just controlling the game in that sense. To me, at the high school level especially, at college, you start dealing with better guards, are able to handle pressure differently. But the high school level, even if a team has a good guard, it could wear them out. It could wear them out if they're depending on that one guard. So it's kind of where the little spark started, and we just kept developing it over and over the years.
Coach, you were also the leading three-point shooter in RMAC history for a while. You guys won the RMAC title when you were a junior and a senior. So you had some great experiences in college and in high school. You're a heck of a ball player for sure. There's no doubt about it. Now, Coach, we're going to turn a little bit. And this, I told you I was going to mention this, and it's not something we really want to bring up, but I think it's important that we do. And August 1st, you lost a cornerstone there in J.B. White, right? A great ball player. You were related to him by marriage. You were related to him. You coached him. You mentored him. And it's tragic, right? It's very tragic, and it still makes us mad that happened. I know it does. I hate to see that happen to youth and young kids. It's senseless violence. Coach, I got to ask you this though. In a pandemic, right? We didn't get together and grieve together, right? For a while, we didn't get to do that. You had to do it over Zoom. You did send counselors in. Great article in the Santa Fe New Mexican by James Barron. A great article. James Barron, one of the best sports writers there is around. I do want to mention that. Talk a little bit about how that affected the team, Coach, because there's no doubt that it did. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, it was difficult, because we were all grieving, but we were all doing it on our own, with our families and at home. We were able to, we were able to meet one time at a neutral site and just be able to get some counseling, get a counselor involved, Miss Mary Louise here at Santa Fe. She does a great job. She was able to talk to the guys, but that's all we were able to really do together. And it was one time. And then school started and we have a basketball class. So we're able to kind of see each other in Zoom. And then we provided some counseling every Wednesday. Right after our class, a counselor would pop in and stay on with the guys. But it was hard. I mean, I know it was hard to be apart. We needed each other to get through those times. So just being back now is a blessing. It's a blessing in more ways than one. Not only for the seniors and the kids that want to be playing now currently, but for us to be together and grieve together. We got JB's locker in our locker room. He's still a part of us. We're not going to touch it. We're going to memorialize it. We're going to push to retire his jersey. Talking with Mr. Morano, we're trying to get the court named after him. We got things in place where we're trying to not let our loved one, I feel like he was a son to me. I know our teammates felt like he was a brother. We're gonna, his name's gonna live on forever because he was a beautiful person, and it didn't need to happen. It was unfortunate, but being together, it's so much easier to grieve, I guess, because we can talk, we can be around one another, we can tell when someone's having a bad day and a down day, so we try to go pick our teammate up, pick our coach up, but it was very difficult, Ed. I've never, I had experienced tragedy before, when I was growing up with a family member in Espanola, but that felt more like a brother. This felt more like a son. And I just, I don't wish it upon anybody, that's for sure.
Coach, that's well said. And I think you're right about that because first of all, it's a pandemic and we weren't able to see each other and hug and do the things. And there's no substitute for human contact. And a lot of kids that you coach and see every day, they look forward to seeing you, and your guidance means so much to them. And you'll see, you already know, I'm sure you have players come back and coach just to come see you, say hi, right? So when we couldn't do that, it's a double whammy. It's bad enough that happened, number one, but then the second thing is how we normally get through it. A hug, a remembrance, right? We got together and you remember when JB did this or JB did that, all the memories that we have of this special person, but you're keeping that alive. Again, handling it with grace and dignity, which you do, and you've got a great support system. Coach Gomez, how important is that to see walk down the way and see Coach Gomez, right? You can see him coming out of the house, you go to the backyard, and remember, we said that Coach Gomez called a Santa Fe legend, right? Back in the day with Coach Roy Paul, what teams that they had. So I think all those things together, it never goes away, but you got the team together now. And I thought it was so important because Coach, for a while, it didn't look like we were going to play, right? And now all of a sudden, it's when I see it, we're in gyms covering games for ProView Networks. It's great to see these kids, whether it be volleyball, soccer, the outside football, or basketball, just doing what they do and smiling again. And sometimes we don't get to see it because of the mask; they have to wear those too. But we're out there, right? We're out there, and maybe they don't take, maybe hopefully this will be the last pandemic we see for a long. This first one I ever saw in 58 years. So I think you handle things really well with that, Coach. And I want to ask you, I'm glad we mentioned that. And his memory and his will never go away. The kid was a great ball player. Somebody funny kid, you said, liked to joke around. His teammates loved him, right? All the crazy things we do as in high school with our teammates that only the team can remember, right? Like the memories you had in college, the memories you had in Espanola, playing with Coach Roybal and Coach Santini. the only things that you can remember. Coach, going forward, you got about 5 games left, I believe, five games left in the season.
Yes, we finished the first round of districts, but we didn't get to play against Los Nunez because our girls volleyball team got to host 2 rounds of the state playoffs. So we're 1 game behind. But we have that rescheduled for this Saturday. So we're 5-1, 5-0 in district. So we have 12 games total. So we'll get the rest of our games now here in the next 3 weeks.
Coming up, you've got a rematch against Albuquerque High at Santa Fe. And the last time that Coach Brown, it was a very close game at halftime, 1-point game, and then you took control in the third quarter. Since then, Coach Brown makes no excuses. He had some players back. Now he's got Austin Perea back and Lamar Rogers, and then you've got them. And then you've got Travis Julian in Los Lunas, and Travis Julian, man, I'll tell you, the former head coach at Manzano, that guy, woo! As a referee, I'm laughing because he'd work me, man. He would. But he'd always tell me, Ed, I think you're doing a good job. But, right? No, now I like Coach Julian. He's a great coach. So you got 2 challenges ahead of you. Talk a little bit about one at a time. To talk about your challenge with Albuquerque High. And Greg Brown, by the way, is doing a great job over there.
Yes, no, he's going to do a great job, and he's got his players back, and it just gives them more depth in certain positions. Perea was playing football. Lamar Rogers was playing football when we played against them. And they got another big kid now. They got a big 6'6" young kid, good-looking kid. So they're a different team. And they're talented. And, nothing changes for us. We still got to play our game. We still got to meet our goals within the game. We got to take care of the ball. We got to play our pace. We got to share it. We got to create a few turnovers. We got to compete on the backboard. And we're at home. So the important part was, how it is in districts. Coach, you've coached. So you always try to take care of your home court, and you always try to go get a couple on the road. We've been fortunate to win at Bulldog City earlier this year, and we just won in the Jungle the other night at Capitol. So those are 2 tough places to play. So we're proud of our guys for that. But just stay within ourselves, do what we do, and not let the other team play to their strengths. We know Perea could shoot it. We know Lamar Rogers is very active, very athletic, active hands, good finisher around the basket. They still have Taplin, who's big, and it seems like he's getting better and better every game that I see. We just got to take care of the ball, shoot it well, and we'll be fine. And with Los Lunas, you're right. Even I'm afraid to talk to Travis sometimes, man. Sometimes I'm afraid to say hi to him. Then,
oh man,
I'm just joking.
He'll get after you.
Travis we've played Los Lunas every year since I've been back to Santa Fe, and just a great coach, tough coach, super knowledgeable. Talk about controlling the game, trying to get the game to get played at his pace. He's superb at that, and so we know they're going to be well coached, and we know what we've noticed is they've kind of flipped their style a little bit. They flipped their style a little bit, and they're spaced out. They're dribbling and getting to the lane. They're kicking out to shooters. They're shooting far more threes than they have in the past. Kind of looks a little bit like us, actually. So it should be a really good game. We feel like, again, our home court, we got to protect it, and then we just got to go. We still got to play them twice. So we still got to play them at home, and we got to go to their place. And the way it's scheduled, the way the makeup game scheduled is we play them Saturday, and then we follow up with them right away on Wednesday. So we play them 2 games in a row. So
no rest for the weary, Coach. And it's again a condensed season, and no time to really work on the things that we normally do when we have a week's worth of practice. Santa Fe boys head coach Zach Cole, what an honor, sir. Thanks so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the season. I'm sure you and I will talk down the line.
Thank you, Ed. And we just from Santa Fe High, we appreciate you guys thinking of us. So thank you very much.
You bet. For producer Alden Miawani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next Tuesday on the Sports Desk.